Hello, my name is Eleanor. I'm 45 years old, a mother of two sons, and I live in a small, peaceful town. I've devoted my life to my children and have always believed that shaping young minds as a teacher is one of the most important responsibilities in life. But, dear mothers, let me tell you this: while the bond with your children may always remain sacred, there can be moments that force you to question its boundaries. A few years ago, during one of the calmest periods of my life, an incident with my son Eric showed me how quickly everything can change. At 21 years old, he was a young man attending college and only came home during holidays. Seeing Eric grow up and begin to establish his own life filled me with pride, though I couldn't help but feel a tinge of sadness. However, that weekend, I never anticipated that everything at home would shift. When Eric came home that weekend, the house was filled with a warmth I hadn't felt in years. His smile, his relaxed demeanor that reminded me of old times, it was a joy to have him home. While preparing dinner in the kitchen, Eric came up to me and asked, "Can I help?" It was rare for him to offer help, so I was surprised. Of course, I said with a smile. We worked in sync in the kitchen, chopping and stirring together. While chopping onions, he turned to me and said, "Mom, I miss the taste of your cooking." His voice carried both nostalgia and a hint of embarrassment. "The food at the dorms isn't nearly as good as yours." A wave of pride filled me during dinner, but I sensed Eric was holding something back. His gaze during our conversation felt deeper, more intense, sparking a flicker of unease. Later, while watching one of our favorite movies, Eric moved closer to me on the couch. When his hand accidentally brushed mine, it stirred something I couldn't ignore. I pulled my hand back quickly, my heart racing as I struggled to make sense of the moment. The next morning, Eric invited me for a walk. Strolling through the crisp air and crunching leaves, everything felt normal again, at least for a while. Eric suddenly stopped during our walk, his expression serious. "Mom, you've always been special to me, but sometimes I get confused about what that means," he said. His words froze me. I took a deep breath and replied, "Eric, I will always love you as your mother, but we must respect boundaries to guide that love in the right direction." His eyes welled up. "You're right," he whispered, "but I don't know how to deal with these feelings." Back home, Eric retreated to his room while I struggled with my thoughts. The next morning, as he packed for college, I stopped him and said, "We need to talk." With guilt in his voice, he said, "I'm sorry for what I said. I don't know where these thoughts come from, but I never meant to make you uncomfortable." I held Eric's hands and said, "Eric, we all get confused sometimes, especially while growing up. But as your mother, it's my responsibility to guide you. We need to set clear boundaries to protect the love we share." We talked openly for hours. I explained that his feelings were natural but needed to be processed healthily, emphasizing the importance of boundaries in preserving love. Finally, I hugged him and said, "I will always love you in a way that is healthy and right." His eyes filled with tears, and he seemed more at peace. Eric returned to college that day, and over time, our bond grew stronger. Seeing him mature and focus on his future reassured me that we had made the right choice. Today, Eric is thriving and often tells me, "Mom, without your love and guidance, I wouldn't be who I am today." Mothers, no matter how old your sons grow, guiding them with love and setting clear boundaries is vital. Love is a powerful bond, but it requires direction. I'm sharing this story with you to remind us all that love becomes sacred only when it's guided properly. Thank you for listening to my story. If you enjoy heartfelt and real-life stories like this, please subscribe to my channel, like this video, and leave a comment to share your thoughts. Don't forget to hit the notification bell to stay updated on new stories. Your support means the world to me.